Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NW Sportscast. And today I'm going to be going over my all star rosters. Now, you saw my starting five video, but now we have the full East reserves, West reserves. It's a tier list. We have about 60 NBA players here. And I'm sorry, there is a ton of good NBA players, but only 24 can make the all star game. So if I offend anybody, which probably I will not because we don't have any NBA fans watching our videos, or anybody watching videos, but if I offend anybody, I'm sorry. This is my opinion. I know you're not going to get all your guys in. There's 60 of them, so everyone can't make the All Star game. That's why there's going to be a lot of borderline All Stars. There's a lot of good players in the NBA, especially this year, which is a really, really stacked year. So we have two team captains. There's not. I don't think there actually will be captains. Actually, there probably will be, and those will be my two, who I think should be team captains. The starters, 8, 4 from each conference plus the captain, so 10 starters, and then East Reserve 7, West Reserve 7, as well as borderline All Stars, and then guys who are good but not even close to being in the All Star game. So let's get into this. Hold on, my bad. All right, let's get into this, and let's start off with guys. Let's just go down the list here. No, let me start off with my captains. All right, so I think I want to go with Joel Embiid for the Eastern Conference because of just what he's been doing for the 76ers team. And I think he's been the best player in the East by far. He's been better than Giannis. He's been better than KD, you could argue, but now he's missing a little bit of time. I just think Joel Embiid deserves to be the starter in this Eastern Conference. Now, I would say LeBron James should be the Western Conference starter, but I feel like if they're going to give it to Embiid, they should just do the centers. I think it'd be cool if they give it to Jokic and Embiid as these team captains. So I'm just going to say I think Jokic should be their team captain. Nikola Jokic and Embiid. Now, yeah, I know LeBron probably will end up being the captain. I just think it would be cool if they give Joel, they should give it to Jokic too. They could have the two centers, which is a dying position. These guys brought back center position in this league, and I think they should definitely. They've reunited this position, and I think if they give it to Joel, maybe end up giving it to Jokic. That'd be pretty cool. But LeBron's fine, of course. It's LeBron James. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So now let's get into it, and let's start off with some starters. So you guys know my starters. I already went over them. So where is my Eastern Conference point guards? Bradley Beal. Yeah, you've had a couple down games here, but my thoughts have not changed for the starting lineups. I think the starting lineups will be exactly the same. Bradley and Jaylen Brown, who's been balling out. I've seen a lot of James Harden picks here. Bleacher Report just picked James Harden, but I still think Jaylen Brown is better. Or not, I think he's playing better. James Harden might be a better overall player, but Harden's taking a step back. He's not shooting the ball as much, and Jaylen Brown is just not a household name, so he's not getting as much recognition, but he will be a household name down the line, maybe even at the end of this year. Trust me. He deserves to be a starter. If you watch this man play basketball at all, he's the best player of the Celtics team. I think he's playing better than Jason Tatum this year. I can say that. In the small forward position, Kevin Durant. He's been playing, not even close. No. He's been playing great basketball. Yeah, he's got the little COVID shenanigan where he got tested negative 3 times in a row. Then he got pulled from the game even though he's negative. Now he has to sit out for the third game again in a row. And they're on a 3-game skid, which isn't great, but they're still a good team in the Eastern Conference, and he came back from an injury, and he's been absolutely balling and playing insane basketball. So Kevin Durant, this man deserves to be an all-star, of course. And then we have at the power forward spot, am I blind or am I blind? I do not see the man. I don't. Oh, there he is. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis, the Greek freak, he's still putting up very good numbers. I mean, Middleton's been pretty good, but Giannis is still the best, arguably the best player talent-wise in the entire league. So 100% he deserves to be an all-star starter, even though maybe he's only averaging 27 a game, 26 a game, and he has some lower nights like 18 and 11. That's still a really good game from an NBA player. So it's not like it's a big deal. Moving on, we have at the center spot. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's my starter, Joel Embiid. Why do I put these guys in reserves? What am I doing? At the center spot, we have Joel Embiid, the final starter, the best player in the Eastern Conference this year, MVP candidate. He's been playing so good basketball, averaging nearly 30 points a game, a double-double. Has the Sixers atop of the Eastern Conference, ahead of the Bucks, ahead of the Celtics, ahead of the Nets, and he's just been playing the best player on the best team in the East, so he deserves to be the captain, like I already said. And in the Western Conference, my opinion still has not changed at all. I have... Wait, who did I... Yeah, I had Steph, didn't I? I had Steph, right? I had Steph. Yeah, I had Steph. What he's been doing for his Warriors team has been incredible. He's putting up 30 a night. Hitting half court shots. He's looking like the old vintage Stephen Curry. And we just forgot about him for a little bit because of an injury, but he's still Stephen Curry. So we cannot really argue with what he's been doing over there in the Golden State. And then, of course, I have Damian Lillard, my guy. I think he is playing better than Luka. Luka's Mavs have struggled. Dame's got us staying a little bit above 500. But we have struggled quite a bit. I think we've definitely underachieved. Yeah, we've had some injury problems, but that's not really an excuse you can keep making. So Dame's been putting up great numbers. He's leads the league in 30-point games. He gets quiet 30 every night. It feels like he hasn't even got on. He hasn't even gone off with like a bomb game. We know he can do, but he's still averaging 30 points a game. So he's definitely. I think he deserves to be here. He's also averaging like 8 assists. And Luka, yeah, Luka's putting up near triple double. I just think Dame's done more for his team this year, and Luka. I don't know. Luka just he'll definitely be the first backup or second backup. Moving on to the small forward position. Would it be small? Yeah, I think it would be small forward position. LeBron James. Yeah, yeah. LeBron James. I think it might actually be at power forward. So LeBron James is there. Definitely, you guys know what LeBron can do for this Lakers team. He's been the best player in the league, arguably, maybe an MVP, maybe he's playing like an MVP again, and he's just played phenomenal basketball. So some nights he just triple double with 30 points, and other nights he just takes a little quieter night, has like 16, 10, and 10. So he can do anything on the side of the ball. And this last spot, there's quite a few guys actually. I've thought about it. There's quite a few guys I could go to because there's PG, there's Kawhi, there's AD, even you could say, but I'm still gonna keep Kawhi Leonard in this last spot because of how good he's been for the Clippers. I'm going to switch him to LeBron. He's been the best player, averaging 28 points a game, and a lot of us, he's defense, of course, and assists even. He just played such good basketball, and this Clippers team is really good, and they're playing better than they were last year, and him and PG are playing great basketball. And that you could argue PG goes here. I just think Kawhi's the best player in the Clippers. I think Kawhi deserves to be the starter. If PG was the best player, I think he deserves to be a starter, but Kawhi's playing a little bit better. All right, now let's move on. We have Anthony Davis. Now, I think he is a reserve in the Western Conference because just you can't. I know he's having lower efficiency. He's not hitting the three ball as well, and he's having some quiet games, but he's still Anthony Davis. He still can be a beast. He's kind of just forgot about it a little bit because everyone just assumes the Lakers are going to win, and some nights he just has nothing. But some nights he still puts up great numbers, and he's averaging like 24 a game, 23. So he still deserves to be a West All Star for what he's been doing over there for the Lakers. DeAndre Ayton, not even close. I mean, he's a good NBA player, but he's not an All Star. I think Chris Paul and Booker, and then even Mikal Bridges all have better seasons than him, and they should all deserve more than he does. Bam Adebayo. I think he deserves to be an Eastern Conference All Star. I'm pretty sure he should deserve. I know Jimmy's been out for a while, and this team is 10-14. They're not great. I mean, they're good. They're turning it around on a 3-game win streak. What is going on? Why is it glitching? They're turning around a little 3-game win streak. What the heck? Bam. Bam. Stay there. What is going on? There we go. He's turning around a little 3-game win streak, and he's been the best player in the team. So I think that just right there makes him deserve to be an All-Star. Is it really glitching for me? Oh yikes! It's really laggy. I'm sorry. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. Does he deserve to be an All-Star? I think he still does. Honestly, I'm gonna move my camera up there because I can see this thing, so I can maybe pause it. I think Ben still deserves to be an All-Star for what he's doing for Philly. He's taken a step back to the defensive playmaking side of the ball, and he's been great. He's been very, very, very good on that side of the offense, and he's been really good on that side of the ball. Points per game is down, and I might move him down maybe to a borderline at the end, but for now, I think he's an East starter. Block A, you're not even close. You struggled so much from the field. Devin Booker. I think he still deserves to be an All-Star. And I think if I put Booker in, I can't put Paul in, which is I want to put Paul in so bad. I don't know. I got to put Paul in borderline and Booker in the starter because Booker still's played a little bit better. he still can put up a lot more on a nightly basis. He has struggled quite a few games, and Paul's turned it around. I just think that Booker's now stepped up a lot in his last couple of games, and I think he still needs to be a starter. Malcolm Brogdon, he's definitely borderline. I considered putting him in that starting spot or in that Eastern Reserve spot quite a few times. I just don't see how. This is such a stacked Eastern Conference because we still have James Harden, Fear the Beard Harden, as an Eastern Reserve as well. And I think he should definitely be there. Now you have Harden, Simmons, and Bam. And I don't know, Brogdon's put up great numbers on a Sixers team, but Harden is just putting up insane assists and not shooting, taking a step back and more of a playmaker now in this big three. And he's got him in a better record and a better spot to win. I think he deserves to be a starter or an all-star more than Brogdon. D'Lo, definitely not. I'm sorry to D'Lo, but he struggled quite a bit. So I don't know. He's inefficient, doesn't shoot the ball well. As much as I like D'Lo, I don't think it's going to happen. Jimmy Butler, I'm going to say definitely not because he's missed 15 games, 14 games. There's too many games where you're going to be an all-star. I'm sorry. I know people can say, yeah, but it's not about injury. But I think a little bit is about injury. You can't miss half of the year or half of the first half and be an all-star. I'm sorry. Bam's been better than you. You struggled a little bit when you came back. Yeah, and your team's bad too. So I think only you guys deserve one all-star. Maybe you could argue borderline, and you definitely could argue borderline. I just think that he shouldn't be an all-star. Gordon Hayward. I think he is borderline all-star. He's played really, really good basketball for this team. He's led the Hornets. He's averaging 24 a game. He's put up 50 in the game, 40 in the game. And he's got this Hornets in a spot to maybe make the playoffs right now. And he definitely deserves to be borderline all-star because of it. Now, let me finish out. I want to put in my reserve to see where it plays out for me. Now, let's see. We got Domantas Sabonis. He is a Eastern Conference All-Star. He's been really – the Pacers deserve to have an All-Star, and I think Sabonis is still better than Brogdon. So, I think he definitely deserves to be there. He's averaging great – he puts up triple-double some nights, which is kind of crazy for Sabonis. And that's why he deserves to be an All-Star in that spot. Oh, I forgot about Luka Doncic. For the Western Conference, he is the first reserve, averaging nearly a triple-double. Now, the Mavs have been struggling way lower than our expectations. He's really been bad. Or the team's really been bad. KP struggled, but he's came back. And speaking of KP, he is not even close to how bad he's how inefficient he's been. But Luka is right there as an all-star, 100%. Nearly could be a starter. It was back and forth between him and Dame. I just got to go with Dame, my homeboy. And then we got, who else can be in these spots? Let's see. Does Rudy Gobert deserve to be there? I don't think he does. Yeah, borderline all-star. I think Julius Randle, for what he's doing with his Knicks team, should be an Eastern Conference All-Star. We now have 2 guards and 3 bigs. That's probably the end of the bigs on the bench, or bigs in the Eastern Conference. I think for what he's doing, he just really deserves to be an All-Star because he's turned this Knicks team around. He's played really, really, really good basketball. And he definitely deserves to be there in this Eastern Conference. Now we have 5. We have point, shooting guard, and then 3 bigs. We need to get some wing play. Jason, how did I forget about Jason Tatum? Definitely, 100%. You could argue him as a starter. You could argue him over KD maybe, or even over Giannis. He's played so super, super, super good basketball. And he definitely will be that small forward on the bench unit for this team. And we have 2 more spots. And this could go a lot of different ways, in my opinion. Julius is kind of an odd pick, but I think he does deserve to be there. There's 2 more spots. I think Kyrie Irving should go. I think Kyrie's borderline. I think you got to give it to Colin Sexton over Kyrie Irving just for what he's done for this Cavs team. Kyrie's in a great situation with Harden and KD. I don't think they deserve to have all 3 in the All-Star game. I'm sorry. I think Colin Sexton's he's been so good for this Cavs team. Maybe the most improved player. He's averaging 25 a game, 26 a game. And he's just putting up great stats every night. And he's helping this Cavs team try to fight for a playoff spot while Kyrie can be a third option on a team and still win a game. So I think Kyrie, yeah, maybe he's better than Sexton, but what he's doing this year, the Nets would be fine without Kyrie. This Cavs would not be. Colin Sexton deserves to be an all-star. And then finally, this last all-star, Jeremy Grant, Zach LaVine, even Kyrie can still talk about. Vucevic even. Middleton. This is a tough one. There's a lot of really good players. Siakam, no, not Siakam. There's a lot of players that could go in this spot. I think I gotta go with Kyrie. I think he's just been better than Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant is right at the top of this borderline for what he's done for this. Oh, I want to see Jeremy in so bad. No, I'm sorry. I gotta put Jeremy Grant in just for what he's done for this Pistons team. He's averaging 30, nearly like 27 a game. The Pistons suck, but you can't. He's maybe the most improved player. Him and Sexton are the two top most improved players. Every night he drops 25. It feels like now, and he's just taken such a big role, stepped up. I just want to see him being also so bad. I'm gonna put him in that last spot in the East reserves. At the end of that bench, Kyrie, you're first in the borderline All Stars ahead of these guys. That's fair to say. Now for the West, we need four more players. I could go to a lot of people, but Paul George 100% deserves to be there. I think. Does Shea deserve to be there? Shea's borderline. That's tough. I don't know. I'll have to see. Oh, shoot. I forgot about Trae Young. Trae Young. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I think Trae just deserves to be there a little more than you. He's on a slightly better team and he's putting up slightly better numbers. Jeremy, you really deserve it too, but there's just too many all-stars to go around. I think Trae will get in over you, and I think Trae maybe should get in over you barely. And then Middleton, like I said, he's right there, borderline all-star. I mean, he's been the closer for the Bucks. That's very true. Oh, my computer is about to die. Shoot. Donovan Mitchell, definitely Western Reserve. He's got the best record in the NBA. The Jazz, first team to 20 wins. And you could argue him being a starter. I've seen some YouTubers put him as starter, some less put him as starter, but I think he's a solid backup here for this Western Conference. Starters, that's 5. We need 2 more players to fill out the Western Conference. Cat, nope. Injury problems, COVID-19, definitely not. Kevin Love, why are you even on here? You haven't played a game all season. Zach LaVine is definitely borderline. He definitely deserves to be an Eastern Conference starter. There's too many good all-star. There's too many good players. Now, you probably could argue Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson, 2 Western Conference guys that you could try to put in. Oh, man. I don't know here. We need 2 more guys. DeMar, CJ, they both Oladipo's borderline. I just don't think he's done enough for this Rockets team. Same as John Wall. Like, they're good, but not all-star type good yet. I'm not sure why isn't Christian Wood on here? I would have said possibly, but injury the last couple games, he would be right here in borderline. He's not on this list for some reason. I'm not sure why. LaMarcus, no, definitely not. Miles Turner, no. Good defense, but you're not making the All-Star game. Westbrook, you could argue because of triple doubles, but he's been inefficient. Kemba Walker, definitely not. He's struggled so much and barely played. So I'm not sure why that's even on here. Ja, yeah, he missed some time. The Grizzlies are still 9-9. They're an average to above average team, but I think he does not deserve to be an All-Star quite yet this year. Oh, man, this is super tough. I think it's gotta. No, not DeMar. De'Aaron Fox has played so good for this Kings team these last couple games, and he's got him as a winning record. I think De'Aaron Fox should be right there as an all-star. I'm going to go Zion over B.I. He's been the most efficient player maybe of all time through so far in this spot in the season. His post-game is insane. That's my 7 right there. And then Drummond, you're not borderline. You don't make it. Vuce is definitely borderline. DeMar is top of borderline. But this Spurs team has been really good. He's been so good. I just don't know. There's just too many good players. CJ, yeah, injury killed him, but he's still borderline. BI, same thing, definitely borderline. Kyle Lowry, no. Yeah, he's borderline. And so is Siakam even. They turned it around the season. And then Jamal, he's been inefficient, but I think he's still borderline all-star. That'll be my list, I think, right here. So let's go over it. We got Joel Embiid, Bradley Beal, Jaylen Brown, KD, and Giannis, the starters in the East. Jokic, Curry, Dame, Kawhi, and LeBron, the starters in the West. And the reserves for the East, Bam, Ben Simmons, James Harden, Sabonis, Julius Randle, Jason Tatum, Colin Sexton, and Trae Young. And for the West, we have, hold on, we're missing a guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I put in 8 for the East. My bad. Trae, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry, pal. You don't gonna make it. Dang, that sucks. There's just too many good Eastern Conference and even Western Conference players. And then for the West, Luka, Booker, AD, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Zion. And then all these guys here, they deserve it. They just can't. They can't. They're just not 30 spots, 40 spots. Trae, Kyrie, Jeremy, Oladipo, DeRozan, John Wall, Chris Paul, Middleton, Brogdon, Hayward, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, B.I., CJ, Vuce, Ja, Russell Westbrook, Shea deserves it. Zach Levine definitely. Rudy Gobert defense. Jamal, yeah. And then we got Aiton, Blake, D'Lo, Drummond, Jimmy, KP, Kemba, Cat, Kevin Love, Marcus, and Turner definitely do not deserve to be All Stars. But that's my list for you. Tell me your thoughts if they're able to, and don't be offended if I was hurt your guy. But there's just too many good players in the NBA to have them all in. Thank you for watching. Peace. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video. That'll be it for me.